IU men's basketball had contests against rising Northwestern and the ever-dangerous Penn State Nittany Lions. Could the Hoosiers grab another Big Ten win?
Indiana women's basketball wrapped up the regular season with a Sunday matinee versus Michigan. Could IU start March off with a W?
And we're breaking out the roundtable to talk IU football, basketball, and baseball. A triple play of Hoosier sports tonight on Hoosier Sports Night.
Well, good evening and welcome into Hoosier Sports Night with Courtney Cronin. I am Ronan O'Shea, and so glad to be in the month of March. Courtney, you look back at February, combined Indiana men's and women's basketball, 3 wins.
It's absolutely disgusting, and Ronan, with the Big Ten women and men's tournaments coming up in March, Hoosiers are looking for success starting off early. It's no secret that Indiana is in the middle of its worst season of men's basketball ever. Meanwhile, the Northwestern Wildcats are having one of their best. The cross-state matchup came to Bloomington with the Hoosiers looking for conference win number 2. Second matchup of the season for Northwestern Indiana, this time inside historic Assembly Hall. IU starts off early, the pass from Pritchard to Tabor. He gets down inside the paint. Hoosiers get a head start in this matchup. Nick Williams nails a basket from beyond the three-point range. Still a little bit too early to count Northwestern out. John Scherna, the freshman for the Cats, gets an inside look, puts one up for 2, and you will tie, then start their 6-0 run, and we see Scherna again. Can't put it up. Malik Story passes it to Jones. He'll drive inside, fall putting the ball up, but that doesn't matter. He gets the basket. Indiana trails by 4 going into the second half, but it's all Northwestern early coming back out. John Scherna, the young pup, the pass coming from Kevin Coble, he is unstoppable. IU trying to retaliate. Story calls in for Daniel Moore, puts it up inside the paint. Indiana again within 4, the bench on their feet. The Hoosiers are still in this. Coble at the top of the key, kicks it way outside to Craig Moore. Is that an attempt right there from Craig Moore to raise the roof? Celebration a little bit early, but he still has every right, nails another one from beyond three-point range. Northwestern closing out the game against IU. Haven't seen too much from Jeremy Nash tonight, except right here. He moves past every single IU defender, puts one up for 2. And say hello to Santa. That's Michael Santa, the former IU manager turned guard reserve for the Hoosiers. Tejon Job tries to put one up right here, and Santa tries to help him get that basket in. But no avail. The Hoosiers drop their 6th loss in a row, 75-53 to Northwestern.
Bill Carmody accomplished something on Wednesday night that no Northwestern coach had ever done before: beat Indiana at Assembly Hall. The Wildcats took care of the Hoosiers 75-53 as IU dropped its 6th straight game.
I'll just start with this. I'll never accept it, and I never have, but you know, this was bound to happen at some point with this team.
I'm sure if I look at the tapes, I'll see that they had some pretty good looks, you know, shots, and missed them, and we had some looks and knocked them down. I mean, I'm just looking at the stats here: 3 for 21 from threes, and you know, that makes a difference all the time.
Northwestern, on the other hand, shot 56% from the field and put the game away early in the second half. Craig Moore paced 5 Cats in double figures with 17 points, but it was junior Kevin Coble whose 8 second-half points sparked NU.
You know, he's been ill, and tonight he was still, you know, he still got it in his chest and he's coughing, and so I had him in and out a bunch of times. But in the second half, you know, he made a couple nice little drives in there.
We do not have a defensive mindset. And we try in a lot of, you know, we're trying to do everything we could possibly know how to build that.
We just gave them a lot of uncontested looks, and we can't do that. We broke down, and at this level, I mean, teams are going to hit open shots, and we just got to be able to contest every shot and be there in every catch.
Senior Kyle Tabor led IU with a career-high 12 points and 6 boards, but the Hoosiers looked nothing like the team which took Purdue to the wire on Saturday, hitting just 3 of 21 threes while committing 17 turnovers.
We got beat by our own mindset as much as anything else tonight. But I'm telling you, there's no way we'll sit back and accept it. And I don't know what we can do about everything, but I know we're going to work on a daily basis to do something about everything and just see where it leads us.
Now, to put into perspective the win for Northwestern, of course, it's the first time they've ever pulled off a W here inside Assembly Hall. But the last time they were victorious in Bloomington, Lyndon B. Johnson was president, Johnny Cash recorded live at Folsom Prison, and Indiana head coach Tom Crean was 2.
Northwestern's Craig Moore hit 6 of 10 field goals, including 5 3-pointers, to give him a total of 17 points in the game. Michael Thompson was 1 point shy of Moore's game-leading 17 with 16 points on his own. Senior Kyle Tabor had a career day for Indiana with a career-high 12 points. Tabor also led the team in rebounds with 6. Nick Williams was the only other Hoosier in double digits with 11 points. Northwestern's win was their first ever at Assembly Hall.
Same state, different college. It was just over 30 years ago when Rudy Rudiger donned the blue and gold for Notre Dame just up Route 31. However, tonight here at Assembly Hall, it was Michael Santa's turn to live out a childhood dream.
I mean, it was, one of the greatest experiences in my life so far.
Santa, a sophomore from Huntington, Indiana, was informed by Coach Crean the day before the Hoosiers contest against Northwestern that he would don the cream and crimson.
I never dreamed that was possible, but when he told me that, I didn't know what to think, to be honest.
I didn't do it as a reward. I didn't do it as an end of season. I didn't do it as a try to say, you know what? That's what I want us to be about.
That's crazy, but I mean, he's worked hard. He's done a lot of good things for us, so I'm proud of him.
And as Northwestern pulled away for a 75-53 victory, Tom Crean emptied his bench and put Santa on the floor.
I mean, I was not expecting to get in the game at all. Obviously, I was just worrying about talking, staying positive on the bench. But when he said my name, once again, it was one of those unbelievable moments that I just really can't describe it.
Santa's work effort in practice and on game day matches that of Coach Crean and the rest of the players.
Yeah, well, those guys come out here and they work, and we hold them to a pretty high standard.
Coach Crean, expects the best out of everyone, whether you're a manager, a coach, or a player. Me included. So whether that be wiping up sweat or diving on loose balls, whatever it is, we're all working as hard as we can out there to get better.
Now, Santa wasn't sure if he would continue to dress for the rest of the season. The Hoosiers have 3 more conference games remaining. Reporting from Assembly Hall, I'm Casey Richards, Hoosier Sports Night.
So after the tough loss to Northwestern, the men's basketball team headed to Penn State over the weekend. The Nittany Lions beat the Hoosiers, of course, 65-55 earlier this year. So could Happy Valley live up to its name, or would IU leave feeling blue? Well, it's actually not their last home game, but Penn State's celebrating senior night anyway, just doing things a little bit differently out there in Pennsylvania. Here, Danny Morrissey from about Pittsburgh puts up the 3 and hits it. Penn State up 5 minutes into the game, but Devin Dumas had an answer. 3 of his 16 points in the game. Good to see Dumas returning to his old form. Minutes later, Verdell Jones misses on try number 1, tips it in on the second effort. Indiana now up 1. And it is Stanley Pringle, one of 2 threes he would hit in the game, 20-18 Penn State with the lead. Now there were 13 lead changes in the game. This time though, Nick Williams on the feed. Williams had 4 points in the game. Indiana down 1 at the half. We pick things up in the second half. Verdell Jones finds Tom Pritchard, one of 8 assists VJ would have in the game. Indiana cuts the deficit to just 1. And look at this. You're not going to see this too often, folks. Tejan Job off the glass. Let's see that one more time. The soft hands, he puts it in to cut the Penn State lead to just 2 points. Still up 2, Chris Babb makes his only basket of the game to put Penn State up 5 with just under 9 minutes to play. But again, Dumas with the answer, shakes off his defender and hits the 3, putting the Hoosiers up. Again, 13 lead changes in the game, but that would be it for Indiana. It was Battle first, and then Cornley second. Penn State just too much for the Hoosiers. Indiana, though, would get one more chance to possibly send this game to overtime. It was Roth on the feed, chucks up the long 3, no good. But Verdell Jones III, the last second shot, comes up short. Indiana falls 61-58, and that look says it all. Penn State's main attack was led by Taylor Battle, 16 points. He also led the team in rebounds with 8. Jamel Cornley and Stanley Pringle both had 10 points for the Nittany Lions. For the Hoosiers, Devin Dumas found success at the three-point line, hitting 4 of 7 attempts to add to his total of 16 points. Ferdell Jones III also had 16 points while adding 8 assists. The Hoosiers tied a season low with 11 turnovers. Now, Sunday marked senior night for Indiana women's basketball. Could the 4 Hoosiers be sent off with a win?
And you'll get a sneak peek at what the new IU football recruits will bring to the 2009 campaign. All this coming up next on Hoosier Sports Night.